Part 1. Myers-Briggs and ISFJ. Chapter 1. Myers-Briggs Personality Typing. What is the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator? The Myers-Briggs Personality Type Indicator, MBTI, is a multiple-choice inventory which has been widely used for more than 70 years to help people understand themselves. Its battery of questions about individual preferences and perceptions allows an assessment which can be somewhat reliably predictive of personal patterns of attitude, interactions, and decision-making. The Myers-Briggs inventory serves as a summary interpretation of information I have provided about myself in my answers to the inventory questions given. Its accuracy is therefore limited by my ability and willingness to accurately self-represent, or at the very least, to represent similarly to others of my personality type. Of what use is the assessment to me? The Myers-Briggs assessment should lead me to a better self-understanding, affording me greater opportunity to capitalize on my strengths and work on or compensate for my weaknesses. The result shouldn't come as a surprise to me, but it should provide a cohesive and somewhat predictive, quote, picture of me. As a picture paints 1,000 words, the Myers-Briggs assessment should illuminate and clarify the person behind the, quote, 1,000 inventory questions. Assessment should be generally descriptive of me, based upon the answers I have given. It will not describe me exactly, especially if the differentiation between my preference and the opposing preference in any or all categories is small. For example, if I am 52% introvert and 48% extrovert. It describes a type within which many people will fall. The higher my percentages toward one preference and away from another, the more accurate the description should be. If the result seems highly inaccurate, however, perhaps I have been inaccurate in self-reporting during the inventory, or maybe I don't know myself as well as I thought. Now that we have briefly discussed the nature of the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator and have some understanding of what it is, it might be instructive to address also some things that the MBTI is not. Not magic. The Myers-Briggs Type Indicator is not magic. There is no hocus-pocus involved. As we have described, the types are generated from my own description of myself. It doesn't predict my future. It doesn't determine whether or not I will be successful, and it doesn't predict my individual areas of interest or talent. Not set in stone. My test result is not set in stone. If I were to take the test on the first Monday morning, during 3 consecutive months, my result, at least in degrees, might vary slightly. If I were to take it immediately upon graduating from high school, and then again 10 years after graduating from college, marrying, and having 2 children, it is possible that my result might see a more significant change. Age and experience might change a preference enough to move me over a line between 2 dichotomous preferences, especially if I were previously positioned near one. It may be that my personality remains the same, but my self-perception, and therefore self-reporting, changes enough to make some difference. Also, if I were to take other similar personality tests based on the same or similar theory, they might produce slightly different results. Not likely to change drastically. Even given the potential for variation in results, or even some change, or at least development in personality type probably does not change very significantly over time. I cannot seem to produce the evidence, but believe that I tested many years earlier as ISFJ. So, 25 intervening years and the raising of 3 children do not seem to have changed my personality type, or my self-perception, though I would have liked to believe that during those years I have come to know myself better, and to be much more confident in my own, quote, skin. Not the perfect, error-free picture of me. As we said before, my Myers-Briggs type will not describe me exactly, especially if the differentiation between my preference and the opposing preference in any or all of the 4 categories is small. Since I am a somewhat narrowly differentiated, borderline I/E and F/T, but test as ISFJ, it might be useful for me to look at ESFJ and ISTJ as well. If I feel that the description for ISFJ misses the mark on some points, then the others might possibly bridge the gap. The Myers-Briggs type describes commonalities between a very large category of people. It is called a type, after all. and not an essence or summation. So, where the shoe fits, wear it to your benefit. But where it doesn't, simply take a heavy pair of shears and cut the shoe away.